Hello everybody and welcome to the final Mishna of Perek Rishon of the first chapter of Pirkei Avot. In the green Siddur we are on page 528 and 529 and the Mishna says as follows. Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel Omer, Rabban Shimon the son of Gamliel says, I will leave you to explore further as to whether this is the same author as it was in the previous Mishnah, in which case we would have to say that this is after he has been appointed as the Nasi, the leader of the generation, or whether we're talking about Shimon in the previous Mishnah, his grandson, Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel Omer. Either way, the Mishnah says as follows, Al shlosha devarim ha'olam kayam. On three things does the world stand. Al ha'emes, ve'al hadin, ve'al ha'shalom. On truth, on judgment, and on peace. Shneimar, it finishes with a verse, Emes u'mishpat shalom shiftu b'shareichem. Administer truth and the judgment of peace in your gates. There is so much to say on this Mishnah. But let's focus perhaps on something that might be bothering a lot of you, which is we said in the second Mishnah of chapter 1, the teaching of Shimon HaTzadik, who told us that Al Shlosha Devarim Ha'olam Omed, on three things does the world stand. And we said, Al Torah, V'al Avodah, V'al Gemilut Chasadim, that the world stands on Torah, it stands on Avodah, on service, and it stands on acts of loving kindness. So how now does Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel come along and say that the world stands on three things, on truth, on judgment, and on peace? So there's a lot of explanations. Perhaps we can reflect on one of them. And to do this, we have to notice the differentiation in the wording in Hebrew. Al Shlosha Devarim Ha'olam Kayam versus Ha'olam Omed. Mishnah 2, the second Mishnah said Omed. Our Mishnah here says Kayam, which prompts the explanation that for the world to stand, what it needed to be created, the purpose of everything was so that there should be Torah and Avodah and Gemilut Chasadim. But for the world to Kayam, for the world to endure, for society to be able to thrive and to be able to function, it needs the three things of truth, of judgment, and of shalom. It has to have a stable and moral justice system. It has to have a commitment to truth, and it has to have a commitment to peace. These are the three things that society needs to be able to flourish, to be able to endure. And that is why it's different from the second Mishnah. The second Mishnah was talking about what we need for the world to actually be deemed worthy to exist and to be worth creating. For that we need Torah, Avodah, Gemilut Chasadim. But for the society to be able to endure, we need a just and safe judicial system. We need to have a commitment to truth, and we need to have a commitment to peace. And in so doing, society will be able, please God, to flourish and to succeed. And then the chapter finishes off, as all the chapters do, with the following saying. Rabbi Chananya ben Akashya Omer, Rabbi Chananya the son of Akashya said, Ratzah HaKadosh Baruch Hu lezakos es Yisrael, that Hashem wanted to give the ability for Jewish people to earn merit in the world to come. Lefichach, therefore, hirba lehem Torah mitzvahs. Therefore, he gave us an abundance of Torah to learn and mitzvahs to do. Shneimar Adonai chafetz leman tzidko yadil Torah v'yadir. As it is said, it pleased the Lord for the sake of Israel's righteousness to make the Torah great and glorious. And I'm indebted to Rabbi Portnoy, who was the rabbi in Hale where I used to work, and he gave the following explanation to really understand what this is trying to teach us. You know, there are so many laws, there are so many mitzvot. When you break it down to the Shulchan Aruch, there are thousands of halachot that we can do. And he said not only that, and if you look at how many of these laws and how many of these mitzvot and how many of these halachot are actually intuitive to us, we probably do a lot of them already. When it comes to the halachot around business dealings, a lot of us are already honest in business. We do these things quite naturally. And that is precisely the point that Rabbi Chananya ben Akashya is trying to bring out over here. The fact that there are so many things that we do already intuitively because they're obvious to us, because they're easy for us to do. And for those, we get reward. So therefore, Hashem wanted to ensure that we, at any point in our day, could earn reward, could do mitzvot from the moment we wake up to the moment we go to sleep. Therefore, he gave us this abundance because he wants us to succeed. Isn't that an amazing idea that Hashem wants us to succeed? And therefore, he tried to make it as easy as possible so that there would be things for us to do, mitzvot that we can perform, reward that we can ultimately get. So Mazel Tov, everybody, on finishing the first chapter of Pirkei Avot, and stay tuned for chapter 2.